Go.
Good.
Good evening, Prescott Valley. Welcome to the October 10th, 2017 monthly Parks and Rec Commission meeting. Brian, can we have a roll call of members present?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Frayer.
Here.
Commissioner Gummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Fallman.
Here.
Commissioner Brinkman.
Here.
Commissioner Polican.
Here.
And absent are Commissioners Trevini and Commissioners Avalos.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. If everybody's had a chance to review the agenda that we'll be covering this evening and offer any suggestions for changes. If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next item is approval of minutes from September 12th, 2017 regular meeting minutes. If everyone, again, has had a chance to review those and offer any corrections or omissions, please do so now. Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of September 12th as written.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the motion passes. Moving on to announcements.
Yes, sir. I will apologize to the commission and the viewing public ahead of time just in case the computer goes down. Unfortunately, one of our power supplies is missing tonight, and it happens to be to this unit. So I will fly through our slideshow for you, trying to assure that the rest of our items here can be represented well. So first off the bat will be Sarah Peacock's upcoming concert on Sunday, October the 9th. This will be held here at the Civic Center grounds at Theater on the Green. There is a $10 gate admission for this concert, and then children ages 12 and under are $5, along with seniors and military. Our gate will open at 4, and the concert will perform that afternoon and conclude roughly around 6:30 that evening. This is a hometown artist. She's going on the tour right now across the country. She is a recorded artist coming right here out of Prescott Valley, and I believe, if I remember correctly, she has either Waylon or Willie's tour bus that has been given to her, and she's traveling the countryside with her group, entertaining and very strong up-and-comer. So who knows? We may be having our very own next top 10 or number 1 recording artist coming right here out of Prescott Valley. But please plan on Sunday, October 29th to come out and visit with Miss Sarah Peacock and her band here at the Civic Center Theater on the Green.
Assume she's country based off the Waylon and Willie.
Yes, sir. My apologies. Her genre is country western, yes.
Very good.
Got all of her backup singers already?
She might have room for you. She might. I'm not going to promise you
I better
anything.
give her a call.
Okay, please do. Please do. All right. Would also like to remind everyone the upcoming public ice skating at the Event Center starts on November 5th, and we will continue through January. Our skating fees are $250 for 12 and under, $450 for 13 and up. We do have skate rentals available for $4 per session, and then also if you have your own personal skates and you need those sharpened, we can help you with that. As far as any upcoming dates and calendars, please visit with us on the website at pvaz.net. There you can see our monthly calendars as they become available. And then we also encourage you to call the skate hotline at 775-3165 for daily updates. Therefore, if we add sessions or remove sessions or lose a date due to event center activities or other scheduled services out there, you can receive that information before heading out. So we do have a variety of weekday, week evenings, and weekends made available to you. So come out and plan to enjoy yourself on the public ice skating opportunity at the Event Center starting November 5th.
Very good. I know that's a big hit with the community, and appreciate having the opportunity to get there and get the blood moving.
Definitely. It is the hot place during the cool part of the year.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
Good.
All right. Also, please put in your schedule for the upcoming National Championship men's soccer program that'll be coming forward at Mountain Valley Park. We're hopefully strongly anticipating that our Yavapai College Rough Riders will be in that tournament. This is a tournament of 12 of teams coming from throughout the nation. Looking forward to having everyone here on site in November at Mountain Valley Park.
Very good. I know that's a great event for the community, so thank you.
Is that televised?
Yes, it will be aired. It'll be aired through the National Collegiate Junior College programming, so you'll be able to have that there, and then we may have availability for rebroadcasting afterwards. Nice. And again, this is November 13th through the 18th.
And is that free admission?
No, there will be paid admission required.
Good. Good way to spend the evening, though, to watch some high-quality junior college soccer.
And lots of games, all right here at Mountain Valley Park.
Outstanding. Can't wait. Next item is a Create-A-Tree.
Yes, like to remind everyone that applications open October 13th. Our display will take place December 1st through January 2nd. We will be celebrating our 16th annual Create-A-Tree exhibit here at the library. So we encourage everyone, if you're looking for ways to promote your group or organization, or you just simply want to help decorate the Civic Center and Prescott Valley Library, please consider submitting your application and showcase your creative and artistic flair. We're looking for non-traditional, non-denominational, and non-flammable tree materials that will be used. There is absolutely no entry fee or admission for this festive program. Applications are due by November 17th, and we will be conducting setup on Wednesday and Thursday in November. I believe that is the 28th and 29th this year.
Good. Always a great event.
And the application can be downloaded off of the town's website via Arts and Culture.
On the Arts and Culture page.
Yes, sir.
Via Parks and Rec.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the last upcoming event that we have on the agenda is Winter Adult Volleyball League. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed
That's
corn
okay.
toss.
That's all right.
One ahead.
I just had to back you up just a
I was
little
thinking
bit.
of conserving that battery power there.
And you did a good job with that, too. So we do have two upcoming leagues. The first is our Corn Toss League. This is an 8-week program. It costs $30 for a team of 2 to enter for the entire league. Minimum age is 12 and up. Games start January 3rd, and we are completing registration by December 22nd. These are on Wednesday evening starting at 7 p.m. at the Prescott Valley Event Center on the main floor. Or actually, this will be on the concourse for the Winter League. And if anyone has any questions, they can give the Parks and Recreation Department a call at 759-3090. But it is a ton of fun. My son and I played in the Fall Corn League and had a blast. And so encourage everyone to come out and enjoy themselves. You'll be playing about 5 or 6 games per night. They do go fairly quickly, at least in the way I perform. So in doing that, my son, he had a dead weight partner, so that was me, old shag arm here. So that's the way it rolled there. But I had a blast enjoying everyone throughout each one of those nights of league play. So encourage everyone to register. Again, register by December 22nd. It's an 8-week league event activity, $30 per team of 2.
There's quite a few ringers in that corn toss.
There's some definite players. There's some rookies, much like myself, and then there's some up-and-comers. So you have the whole diverse array of players out there, and it's entirely for fun. That's what we're doing out here. That's the beauty of a league. It's all out there for fun and to hone your skills.
At the time I did it, they were the ones that were so good were actually giving hints to the other, teaching them the proper ways to throw and the
Correct.
techniques and such. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is. Good times. Okay, now I believe we're on to the Adult Winter Volleyball League.
You nailed it. Yes, the Prescott Valley Parks and Recreation Winter Volleyball League is taking place with registrations for its 2018 season. Our registration will open on November 1st and carry through December 22nd unless maximum capacity is reached first. On Tuesdays, co-eds division will play. Wednesday, women's divisions will play. Thursdays, co-ed C divisions will play. The times are from 6:30 to 9:30 on each evening, and that we will be playing at the Glassford Hill Middle School. Registration cost is $150 per team, and games will begin the week of January 8th. If you have any other questions or need more information, again, please feel free to give us a buzz at 759-3090. Registrations can be completed and payments accepted online, so visit us at that website, pvaz.net, to complete that. But if you do need more information, when you call us, just ask for Brianna.
Very good. I know that's also yet another popular winter activity. Gummer here typically participates in volleyball, so very good. Any other questions for Brian on the upcoming events? Okay, moving on. Department update?
Yes, I do not have any additional information to add to my written report or any of the other divisions for our department. I am very happy to answer any questions you might have in regards to my September report for the department.
No questions? We'll move on to the chairperson's report. The trail appreciation efforts that took place on September 30th was National, I originally thought it was National Trails Day, but it's National Public Lands Day.
There you go.
So, in coordination with the Canyon View Prep Academy and Bradshaw Mountain High School mountain bike teams, we had 17 coaches and volunteers and young people that participate on the mountain bike teams make the 2.9 mile hike up to the top from the trailhead, and started raking some of the loose and ragged rock off the trail to give better footing to hikers and runners and mountain bikers. And we got a lot of compliments from people as they were passing us by on the way up and on their way back down. We worked for about 4.5 hours up there, and I was more sore doing that than I was after a long mountain bike ride. So appreciate all the help from both the Canyon View mountain bike team and the Bradshaw Mountain mountain bike team coming out.
A good-looking group there on the screen there, and it's both folks. So very proud of both coaches for assembling their teams. And I tell you what, that's a pretty nice view when you have two competing programs working together to benefit the community and paying homage or respect back to the resource that they utilize. And I think that's a pretty awesome statement right there, and doing that and the other folks that joined in. So kudos to the coaches in both of those schools.
And to you.
Very much appreciated, yes.
Chairman, definitely.
And in addition to that, Tanner Sharp, Eagle Scout candidate, correct?
Now officially an Eagle Scout.
Now officially an Eagle Scout.
Ah.
Hired a group of volunteers, or not hired, gathered a group of volunteers, I should say. Did some trail cleanup around Fane Park on the Lynx Creek Loop Trail and portions of the Canyon Trail. Additionally, they planted 12 signs for trail signage, so people will know which way to go when they get out there at the critical intersections. So it'll be a big improvement for accessibility in conjunction with the footbridge that can be used to get across Lynx Creek now. There's a lot of good hiking and biking and just enjoying nature opportunities on the south side of Fane Park. So appreciate Tanner and the efforts that him and his crew put in. It looks amazing out there.
It truly does, and this was the culmination, his completion project for achieving his Eagle Scout honors there. And so he assembled a pretty hard-working crew out there, and they put in a total over the course of 3 days, 196 hours collectively.
Right.
So lots of good times. As you can see, they were loading up the horse trailer with all of the different material that they were removing out of their vegetation removals, brought in a lot of equipment, all of those kinds of things. So good, hard-working group out there.
Much and eager too. The time I ran into them when we were planting the signs or marking the signs, so they could do the actual work. So worked out well. Any questions?
No, I think this is great. Kudos to Tanner Sharp. How wonderful that he did that. That's a real positive thing for the Boy Scouts.
Right.
I'm glad the town could participate.
Without a doubt. And I think it just really reflects positively on our young people. We hear all these other things that are going on with our youngsters out there in their community. And here we have a whole group and family members and teams and everything assembling on 2 separate independent projects, giving back to the community. So I think it's just excellent in regards to representing our young people and the family values that are being put forward here in these projects.
Yeah, our congratulations to Tanner. And, you know, people should note that the Scouts work with the town and Parks and Recs on lots of different projects. So this is kind of an ongoing relationship, and it does show what kind of community we have here.
We've had many Eagle Scouts come through the parks programs over the years,
Yeah.
looking for a project, and it's nice because we always have something for them that they can do.
Yes. And if you recall earlier in the spring, I believe it was, we had a young man that did some work over at the Senior Association facilities and doing some rehab on the interior of the building for the group there. So, yes, projects do pop up. So it's fabulous to see all of that teamwork come together out there.
Absolutely. Anything else? Okay, moving on to item 7, Tree Advisory Board business. Just be advised that our recertification for Tree City USA is due in December of this year, 2017. So if you get a chance, review the 5-year plan and refer any questions, comments, requests to the committee, which is myself, Vice Chairman Avalos, Brian, and our arborist, Dana Diller.
Correct.
So feel free to send an email to Brian, and he'll pass it to the committee.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We had lost the flag. Have we replaced that Tree City USA flag? The white
Yes.
flag?
Yes, we have.
We have.
Yes, ma'am.
And then as far as a planning meeting for the upcoming year and for the review, I'd like to propose November 17th as the possible date. It's a Friday, I believe. With schedules as busy as they are, that would be the best day to discuss amongst ourselves. And
I will-
Mr. Diller and Danny.
Yes, I'd be happy to do that on your behalf and get us scheduled up. And
Okay.
Do
Lunch
it to it.
meeting or whatnot.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll move forward with that after the 17th of November. Okay. Any other questions regarding Tree City USA or Tree Advisory Committee?
You know, I was listening to the school board meeting the other night, just happened to be flipping through the channels, and I believe Coyote Springs School got some kind of grant where they were going to receive 50 fruit trees, I believe they said. It was through some kind of grant also.
That's
So they were very excited about trees. I didn't know if they had joined with you or maybe got a little information.
No, a lot of the schools have different opportunities. They might have also participated in that Community Challenge Grant program, similar to what we just received notification on. So I'll be sitting down and meeting with the forester, I believe, in the next 2 weeks. Facilitating that. So that might have been, they might have also had a learning lab opportunity available to them through some other educational programs.
Doing some
opportunities.
garden thing or something.
Yes, that could very well be that program there, and even possibly through the Extension office as well. That could have been some opportunities for them too.
Well, at least we know where to go get our fruit now.
well, I was going to say, be careful what you wish for when you order fruit trees, because I have a plum tree that blew up this year. So,
Same thing on a peach tree, so I understand. But they do have many hands over there. So.
this is true, and some hungry mouths too, I'm sure. Okay, moving on. Old business, capital and project updates.
Yes, happy to report on these 4 items. First off, our Ramada has been completed over at Community Center Park. Please feel free to drop by and take a peek at that. I apologize, I lost the slide for that presentation this evening to give to you. But we have completed efforts over there. The Ramada is installed by our vendor. Our connective sidewalk there coming from the parking lot to the Ramada as well as also to the playground is completed and installed. And then also our extension of irrigation services has taken place, so we're able to hit some of those areas that needed a little extra TLC. So they'll be able to expand the turf into those barren areas. So we'll have that completed. So the overseed and fertilization has also occurred at that location, and then also the removals. And then we were also trying to work towards doing some sod replacement in those voided areas from the old shelters that were just beyond repair that we could do. And then we're going to have to also do some seeding there as well. But by springtime, they'll start to fill in and be good as new, and we'll never know the difference.
Exciting. I'm anxious to go check it out. The next item's parking lot chip seal.
Yes, I have a couple of visuals here on this. One to give you a little view. If you have not been out there, American Legion Park is just an entirely different place than what you would have known it from even a year ago, 2 years ago even. So here is a view. This is showing you what our chip seal project took place. Really comes across, so we have a holistic parking area out there. The folks did a really nice job. Actually, it was a double chip that we did out there. All of the turf is settling in very, very well. There you can see the efforts that took place from our tree program that we had last year with the plantings of different trees and as well as shrubs. All of the turf work and fundraising that was done and provided to us, compliments of the Friends of Prescott Valley Parks and Recreation, has really come to light out there. And it is a true transformation of that particular park site. We moved the recycle collection areas off of the street side. They're now at the far south end of the parking lot. It's on a nice hardened surface. Those folks can gain access to it. No more rutting of the shoulders, any of those types of things, as well as on the interior of the park, all of the old deteriorating utility poles are gone. We now have all of our boulders in place along the street side. So it is just a total refurbishment of that particular site. I forget how many thousands of dollars that were raised in regards to what the Friends were able to contribute back to the town, as well as the hundreds of hours given in volunteer and service to the project, and then also Arizona Forestry with their grants, as well as then also the tree donations that took place coming from our grower. So I just can't say enough in regards to the change that has taken place at American Legion Park. So
It went from being seedy to being glorious, really.
very, very much so. Very, very much so. No pun on that one, but definitely. So in doing those things. So it's a pretty place.
Yeah.
Very pretty place. And I truly hope everyone enjoys and looks forward to its complete utilization.
I would
now.
imagine the Horseshoe Club is
They're
in heaven.
ecstatic. Yes,
Yes.
yes. And especially all the efforts. I wish we could have had the parking lot for last year's tournaments that they had, but now for the state championships, they're in hog heaven right now. So really, really turned out well. So very happy. Very happy. And kudos to the team. That Parks team was out there really hoofing it along with all of our volunteers. So it was a really, really great experience.
Very good. Very good. Was that the only park that was done, or?
No, this just gave you an example of that parking lot. Also, Tonto North, if you remember, it was just about as in bad shape, actually a little bit worse. If you recall, we went in there, literally broke that all up. Came back in, did a double chips situation, fogged it. So it's a very nice, solid setup out there. Gives you exactly the same aesthetic view that you're seeing right here in American Legion. If you recall, it also had a double in and out. We removed one of those because the neighborhood was experiencing a lot of issues from young drivers. Zipping in and out through there. So that's been fixed. We also added a little bit more fencing there, so just to help direct some people. So we're in great shape there. Also, Fane Park, if you recall, we had a great big cavity there in one of the driving lanes. And so that has been patched, as well as then also chipped and sealed as well, too. So really, I think, I know it's just black, and I know it's some white and some yellow stripes, but boy, does that really make that environment pop and feel as if it's complete and together. So very, very good project, and appreciate the work out there by staff, and in this case, also our town vendor coming through the Public Works Department as its annual program.
Very nice. Yeah, it looks great. Okay, moving on. Next item is Mountain Valley Splash roof repair.
Yes, no visual on this. Yes, it's about as exciting as it sounds. It was a roof repair out at Mountain Valley Splash. The vendor's done a very good job. A couple little follow-up items that our Public Works facility teams is going to assist us with, as well as the vendor. Those little elements will be taken care of and complete, and so we're very excited about the winter season and monsoon. We're saying bring it on, because we got it covered. So, yes, just for you, Commissioner Brinkman.
Let's have the monsoon come
You're
after
on a
the
roll
swimming's
tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Good.
Very good. Next item is Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, just wanted to remind everyone the bids are due on October 16th, so we'll be waiting to that point in time. Once they're received, we'll go through there, do the analysis, and then provide recommendations to council. So sometime in, hopefully, if I remember my timeline correctly, I may have data coming from that council meeting and their selections.
Very good.
Exciting.
Exciting. Okay, and last item on the old business agenda is the pickleball court.
Yes, I wanted to bring back, make aware, I know Commissioner Trevini had asked some questions at the last meeting. I presented to town council. They approved the concept of the donation and working in partnership with the Prescott Valley Pickleball Association. So graphically, I just wanted to represent again, bring to the commission's attention the location of the pickleball court there at Antelope Park, and then as well as what the design concepts will be. Ultimately, what we're looking at are 6 consecutive courts paralleling the parking there on the south end of Antelope Park, is represented in the green square. The blue line, or squiggle in this case because of my artistic efforts, represents the current drain channel. You see that there is some infringement on that. So what staff will do once dollars are put into place and designed and everything is finalized, we'll have to do a realignment on that. We already have tentative pre-approvals coming from our Public Works Department in regards to that rechannelization, so that will be part of that design responsibility of the Pickleball Association for totality there on the site. That will be part of the contribution of partnership that the town will do. We'll be able to do all that in-house. As far as the rechanneling and the regrading, all the other component build-up, all of those things, that will come out of that construction project itself. Okay, but other than that, thumbs up, green light. Now we're going to go through. Staff will then be developing the partnership agreement, present that to council, and once that is approved and moving forward, then that gives the association itself the full go-ahead to begin their donation and contribution collection.
This came from the location. We just did a little soccer clinic up there, and
Yes.
there's about 4 or 5 different groups, and that park is heavily used, and it'd be awesome to see that addition to it and have that kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, the summertime usage, and obviously a different, not a different genre, but a different element of people using the park. I think that's awesome.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. That's going to be a great thing for the community. Any other questions? Moving on to new business. Annual report presentation.
Okay, presented to you this evening, and I apologize, my copy walked away. Is there a spare one sitting up in there?
I think this is your copy right here, Brian.
I'd like to compliment the staff for their assemble of information, as well as then also the administrative staff for putting up with me as I'm pulling out my hair and asking for the copiers to be unjammed and photocopy this and collect that, staple this. So Cindy's been fabulous, as well as Mary Lou, in helping all of this. But this is a simple collection of fiscal year 16-17 accomplishments. So we can just do a quick sachet through this. I know you've had copies you've been chewing on. I've gotten some edits from some of you, looking forward to more from others. in regards to updating or make sure, don't forget, please add, all of those kinds of things. There are a couple of sections that are in red. First, notice that the chairperson's message is from last year, and that was just simply out of courtesy to Chairman Frere, simply so that he could have the time to review the document, as well as then also collect input from his fellow commissioners as discussion items tonight or leading up to this. It'll be something that Chairperson Frere and I will want to have completed towards the end of this week, so it can be assembled, collected, and then forwarded on to council for their review coming on the 19th of this month.
You want a finished copy to go to the council?
That is correct, yes, ma'am, as well as to you
Yeah.
in addition to that. So in doing that, the other few items that still need development will be found on the administrative section of the report, and that is just simply the collections of some numbers that will come from 4 items, and these are charts that are not yet assembled in the back of this report, and these are the public support items. These are your cash donations, in-kind support, volunteer support. So those are the items that still have yet to be assembled, those charts to be added to the document for the completion of those few items that are still remaining in red. Beyond that, we have assembled data ranging from mission and purpose of not only the town but the department, the town's organizational chart, so that everyone understands in regards to that flow of information and how commissions are appointed by town council. They serve as volunteers at the pleasure of council. And then the assigned staff as liaisons, and I am performing that role as the Parks and Recreation Director to both the Parks and Recreation Commission as well as the Arts and Culture Commission. Little line out of information in regards to the department and its overview. The divisions they are broken out with administration, community and outdoor education, adaptive recreation, arts and culture, aquatics, parks, athletics, special events, and then also other liaison services that the department extends itself to. And as previously mentioned, the commissions, but also the Humboldt Unified School District, the Chamber of Commerce, the Central Arizona Seniors Association, the Boys and Girls Club of Central Arizona, the Arizona Parks and Recreation Association, the Arizona Game and Fish Department, the Arizona Division of Forestry, the Historical Society of Prescott Valley, and then also various athletic teams, leagues, and other associations in doing such. We highlight both the Parks and Recreation Commission and the Arts and Culture Commission with its membership. Its responsibilities is directed by Town Council, a listing of meeting times, advisory committees that the commission serve towards. Next is a collection of partnerships working with the department. And then we get into the organizations of each one of the divisions found within the department, starting with our administration division. Some of the highlights that take place coming out of the administration department. Believe it or not, 1,900 Civic Center reservations alone. This was a 2% increase over last year. And then a 26% increase in paying rentals, combined with a 41% increase in youth organized sponsored groups as the most significant change in that trend. We had also a 2% increase in library reservations, which we handle. We handle facility reservations for the totality of the town. And then there was also an increase, 3% increase in attendance during those reservations there at the library. We had a 12% increase in Ramada reservations this year, but conversely, surprisingly, a downward trend in attendance. And I think that simply means that more folks were really going towards our smaller Ramadas, so most of these rentals were coming in family units as opposed to extended family or group organizations. So that's why you see that disparity between the numbers. You would think a positive correlation would assume itself in that way, and we just saw it trending in a different fashion. We conducted 3,200 plus athletic field reservations this year. There was a 4% trending down, as well as then 129,000 folks in attendance on those athletic field reservations. Now, those are just the reservations. Those are not the other times when folks go out there, i.e., we hear from Commissioner Polican, he's out there illegally using, no, I'm just teasing, using the athletic fields over at Antelope Park. So that is just the scheduled use. So those folks have taken the time to make a reservation to guarantee their use out there. So, of course, we all know that there's a heck of a lot more unscheduled use that's going on as well, which is an awesome thing. Getting people healthy and active out there is a great thing. We also completed 5,300 plus transactions online with our new online software. I remember us trying to wrap our heads around that 2 or 3 years ago in regards to what is this going to do for us and how are we going to do this? Well, that's that crazy fun work that Miss Cindy and Mary Lou and Kathy get to do along with our coordinators. And this was a 138% increase over the previous year. So folks are really grabbing a hold of it. It's really helping us out internally because we're able to capture more work and getting things done. Yes, Cindy and Mary Lou don't like hearing that. It's just me back there cracking the whip trying to get things done. But kudos to them, and they're really, they're actually making additional improvements, learning more about the software and the program, which is really helping to direct a lot more, and probably what we're looking forward to is better reporting coming forward in the future as well too because of those efforts, and then streamlining some of the selection choices and making a better front end use by the consumer. So we're very excited about that. In total participation in comparison to last year, we were down a measly 4% with 275,000 participants in all of our activities, and even with that slight downturn, we saw a 2% increase in total income with $285,000 coming through the door. So that is kind of more or less a summary in numbers from our administration division. Highlights over the year, we had a lateral transfer of Robert Kiernan from our Aquatics and Ice division into our community and outdoor education. Bobby had held that position with us for 7 years prior to that. Very dedicated young man, and happy to make that and approve that lateral transfer for Bob. In addition to that, we welcomed 3 new coordinators, Miss Hope Hooper in our Arts and Culture division, Mr. Brady Peck in Aquatics and Ice, and Brianna Hetzel in our Athletics division. So quite a busy year, getting new folks on board, getting them acclimated, orientated to all the new nuances and everything else that they have coming from other organizations into ours, and getting them up and moving. And they have all 3 hit the ground running, in some cases without choice, and in large part just on their own accord. So they've been fantastic folks, and we're very, very happy to have them here. In addition to that, we had a grant, a Heritage Fund grant from Arizona Game and Fish for work down at Fain Lake with improved angler access and sediment mitigation removal. If you recall, a lot of assisted help came from our Over the Hill gang out there, as well as Commissioner Freyer and some other volunteers. So very, very fortunate to have that, doing those things. Also continue to expand and accelerate our staff training, so was able to support them internally with that, leading to improved efficiencies and quality operations. And then also working with our Public Works and our Utilities divisions, our State Land Trust right-of-way application for the extension of trail coming from Summit Trail and connecting into the City of Prescott Trail systems for secondary connectivity. So that was also submitted this year. In addition to that, beyond that, the town was the recipient of the Natural Resource of the Year Award from the Arizona Parks and Recreation Association for Summit Trail there on Glassford Hill. The Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce also accepted the department's recommendation for awarding the Over the Hill Gang its Volunteer Service Award for their contributions to Summit Trail. Commissioner Patrick Freyer received the Town of Prescott Valley's Volunteer Impact Award for his dedication and service to the department. We were the recipient of the Arbor Day's 40th anniversary tree compliments of the Arizona Department of Forestry and the Tree City USA program. And we were also the recipient of a Burke Playground grant that came in a very substantial discount for the playground that was awarded to Bob Edwards Park. So those were some of our significant achievements that came forward out of the Administration Division. Any questions on Administration Division in your report? Okay.
Very thorough.
We try. Our Community and Outdoor Recreation Division had some very nice highlights and expansion of their services, where we had some very significant increases that took place with some of our personal training programs with Move It and Strength and Balance. These are designed for participants 50 and up, as well as then also securing a number of different pieces of equipment in support of those different programs. We started some new activities with boot camps for women. We also had some nice significant increases in activities with our Tai Chi instructor, Mr. Dana Dillard, coming forward and doing that. But we've also had some challenges this year. But with that, were opportunities that were never afforded to us before. As we're all aware of, the Event Center had secured a new anchor tenant with the Northern Arizona Suns, but they needed a practice facility, and it happened to be the same practice facility that we used for a better basketball program. So we had some conflicts in doing that. So we saw some waning in those numbers, but we also received a great recreational resource in regards to having the Northern Arizona Suns here with us too. And so we're very excited about that opportunity and opportunities that will be announced later in the year as well. Beyond that, the big thing that transitioned within our community and outdoor for the last 9 years, that coordinator, and it's been a collection of folks over the years, over that 9-year period, but they've had to also shoulder the responsibilities of general programming coming out of the Arts and Culture Division because of that vacancy that had occurred for that period of time. So we're transitioning those art and cultural services back out of community and outdoor ed. So now Mr. Kiernan is going to have that challenge of now moving new programming and opportunities in doing that. He's met that challenge very well this year. He did a lot of research. He's created a new online and a promotional campaign in recruiting new instructors. It's already proven itself. He's got some new instructors getting ready to come on board with us, and we're very excited about those opportunities and seeing what his creativity and work is going to move forward for this division. So you'll see that in some of our graphs a little bit later in regards to the divisional report there. Beyond that, we were also successful in our 4th consecutive year of recertifying the town of Prescott Valley as a Playful City USA community. So another nice star to hang on the hat, if you will, in doing those things. But in total, that is our summary for our community, outdoor, and continuing education division. Any questions there? Good. All right. In adaptive, pretty much just as needed, some continuing outreach there, education in regards to some of our instructors that we had, so a lot of internal based upon request and demands, but not many more highlights other than that. Okay. Next is our Arts and Culture Division. As I indicated earlier, we're very pleased to have Ms. Hope Hooper on board with us. She has come to us from the great state of Ohio with a master's degree, but in addition to her education, her experiences range from municipal art galleries to studies abroad in Italy. So she is quite diverse and has a very high energetic personality, and she is a very strong go-getter. So she is strengthening her operations and improving customers' experiences and has already brought on several new opportunities for us. One of those is the Underpass Mural program that she has brought to us. So if you happen to have used the multi-use pass and have traveled from Mountain Valley Park to the Civic Center or vice versa, right there on Robert Road at that underpass, for some of us, it's a very simple thing to say. It's been a little blighted area with all kinds of graffiti and some other fun things that have been placed upon it. But Hope had a very inspirational opportunity, and there on page 8 in the Arts and Culture Division section, on the lower corner, you will see a prickly pear mural that she designed, collected quite a few different volunteers. They helped outline that, and then she recruited the youngsters over at the Boys and Girls Club. And together as a group, they went out and painted the entirety of the mural there on the north side of that overpass, or underpass, in doing that. So that went over very well. All of the supplies and materials she received donations from that came from Sherwin-Williams. It also has an anti-graffiti coat on it, and it has been touched a time or two, and we just simply went over and removed it, and had no negative effect on the mural itself. So a great inspirational piece, a very positive thing. We're working in regards to drumming up more interest and activity, hit the south side of that same overpass, and then start looking at some other areas as well too. So a very inspirational opportunity. Just kind of goes to show the positive, inspirational efforts that you're going to see coming from our new coordinator in arts and culture. Beyond that, our program has been very supportive in our movies nights program continuing. In doing that, staff was able to assist and work in cooperation with the commission, as well as then also the Friends of Prescott Valley Parks and Recreation, and receiving almost $7,000 in donations towards that program for the rental of movies and participation. And we had 7 very successful evenings with a minimum of a 400 on average attendance each one of those nights. So kudos to them and all of that work that they've done out there. In addition to that, we received a couple of other permanent sculptures into the Art at the Center program, and that was compliments of about a $15,000 donation that was also accompanied those pieces of work by the artist, Mr. Gary Slater. So with that, I would be happy to answer any other questions you might have on the Arts and Culture Division report.
Just a quick question on the mural. It's been touched, but the frequency gone down since care has been shown to it?
Yes, dramatically so. And that's why we're very excited to look at that south half.
Yes.
And get that in process as well, too.
A very positive improvement going
Yes.
through there.
So to advertise that, if you have a group out there that would like to jump in, I mean, literally, we captured about a dozen to 15 teenagers, just said, sure. And this group of volunteers and leaders were able to go out there and assist those young people. They had the conceptual document. It was already outlined. They knew what colors went in what spots. And it was, paint by number. This is the only way I can look at it, because that's as far as my talents take me. And it was really one of those things that within an afternoon, maybe 2, they were done. And it was a very simple process and very enriching environment right there.
Very nice.
I still think that you should label these photographs that are in.
Yes, ma'am. And I will definitely take
This
that
is just-
advice and recommendation. Yes.
We don't know what it's there for.
Right. Yep.
Particularly on page, I'm going to go way ahead, because I noticed this, page 24. And where is this? This is Mountain Valley Park?
Page 24 is Mountain Valley Park, and that is the amphitheater.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We put that in there specifically so that we could illustrate to you the benefits of our new mower.
Yeah, the
And
lawn
what it
looks
does.
fantastic. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay.
And the park boys threatened me if I did not put this picture in there. Yes.
It looks
yes. And it
spectacular.
does. It looks beautiful.
All right.
Yes. All right. Any questions on Arts and Culture Division? Hearing none? All right. We'll jump into aquatics. I know you had a report last month from Brady. He kind of gave you an overview of this summer. I would like to remind all of you, when you're looking at some of these things and reading the report, and especially at the graphs, you are going to read something in this document that was different than what was presented to you last month. And that was, we had indicated to you a number of different rainouts. If you look at the graph, it really shows that we didn't have a bunch. Well, keep in mind, that was last July, and that little brief period of August, and then that little brief period of May and June of this year, our rainouts that Brady reported to you on all happened in July. So next fiscal year's report, you're going to see a bunch of rainouts and how July was affected. So that's how that transition. So before you ask the question, because I know some of you kind of looked at me when we got ready for this, saying, now wait a minute, this is different than what we heard last month. Well, it is, and that's because we divide on a fiscal year. We divide that fiscal year of July through June, and so in this case, we're looking at last July through this past June. Okay. Outside of that, Brady came on board, so he was new with us. The other major thing to pay attention in here, he had 25 new lifeguards this year. So we had a new coordinator and 25 new lifeguards that were on staff. That's a lot on a new coordinator's shoulders and staff over there and doing that. And they did phenomenal this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
so
did.
Major kudos to not only Brady for his efforts, Bobby, because Bobby backed Brady up and taught him everything that he needed to know to make the transition, as well as the leadership of Jason Elmer, our manager, in supporting both of them through that whole transition and getting everything up on snuff, as well as then also our technician, Brent Juries, in support of that, because he helps with all of the facility elements of things. So a real teamwork element going on out here in everything that was achieved. As you know, you went through, provided recommendations for council's consideration as the Prop 206 issue that was out there, which was the increase of minimum wages. And coming out, we had to transition and roll out those new increases, not only in our admission fees, but also in our program fees. All of that took place. We utilized technology this year, and again, because of that online software system and it's web-based, we were able to transfer that out to the pool. Brady grabbed a hold of that, made that available so folks could have their payments, improved record keeping, tracking, all of those kinds of good things. So lots and lots and lots and lots of changes going on in our aquatics division, and you would never know that any of it took place because they handled it seamlessly. Of course, in the background, there's all kinds of other fun things happening, but overall, an excellent year with all of those changes, shifts, and additions in doing that. Okay. Beyond that, a lot of our young people are continuing their education, going to college, or moving on and pursuing a career in the military, so we're very excited for them, looking forward to having them back. Our new first aid building was online this year, so we had all of that information going on. We procured new first aid training mannequins, AED machines, so that we could better prepare our lifeguards for any of those emergency situations, which we did not have. We also completed some patching of the slide prior to the year. Turned out fabulous. We're also looking at that replacement and rebuild occurring this winter, early spring, transitioning into next year's operation. And then we also replaced a number of different components at our splash pad as well, so we were in full operation. Beyond that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about aquatics or this report and the statistical numbers. All in all, our numbers were pretty solid in comparison to previous years. This year we had an attendance increase over the prior year. Rentals and swim meets, we were down just a little bit, but not significantly. Actually, pretty much ahead of trend of doing those things. And then out of the 66 days between last July through the spring portion of this year, we only had 7 closures. So fairly well over a fiscal year period of time.
Things will look different next year.
Very much so.
We had a really good presentation about the pool and everything that went on.
Yes, ma'am.
He did a fine job in telling us all about it.
Good young man and good crew out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding, like you said, with all the new people, and we really had no incidents. Had a very successful season, and that's not really reflected in this report, but just ongoing. The transitions, the changes.
Yes.
One general comment that I would like to make is when we started the annual report, it was an idea of communication to the council, the community, and ourselves so we could benchmark what we're doing. And this report itself has really grown. And Cindy, thank you, and Mary Lou, you guys do an outstanding job in keeping Brian straight. But additionally, if you went back a few years and looked at the org charts or the lack of them,
Yes.
there really wasn't the staff. And now as you see all of these opportunities branching out, being presented to the community, it just shows that the value of Parks and Rec has drastically increased over the last few years. And
Right.
it's all reflected in this report.
Yeah, and I would also state, and I think we were just referring to some of that in regards to the transition that our parks are going through as well, and the improvements that are taking place, the efficiencies that we're gaining, and utilization of technologies, and all of those types of things, and giving good customer service and positive experiences. Now, do we hit that mark 150% of the time? No, we don't. Sometimes Mother Nature works against us. We're still battling that down at Fane Park, but we're going to transition through that. It just takes time, takes a little bit of money, takes a little bit of elbow grease, and you just got to finagle all of that in with all of the daily operations that we do. A lot of folks don't understand in regards to what it takes in preparation for the upcoming tournaments and those kinds of things, and the focus and concentration that has to be given to those, or the time behind researching and trying to get the community involved, coming on board as instructors and leaders and educators and doing those types of things. And that's where we welcome that participation. That's where we love Adopt a Park. That's why we are so inspired by the Over the Hill gang and the contributions that are made by the Scouts and the mountain bike teams and all of that, because it takes literally everyone. This is truly one department where the community can be directly involved and can influence and provide the outcomes that they seek, as long as they're willing to contribute and partner in that process. So nothing can hold us back. But it just takes a little bit of those other things to all come into play and be able to make those things happen. And I think that's the fun of what this report is on the year, is you can go back and go, wow, we did
really
do some of that.
Go back and go, wow.
Yeah. We can really do some of these things. Or we can say, we could have done that better too. We could have. But I think there's a lot of wow in here as well, too, in doing that. And I'm looking forward to the next wow as well in doing that. So, were there any questions in regards to aquatics?
And just a quick comment, I think we're very fortunate also with the staff we have in parks and the new additions to our staff. Very educated, very well. These kids are coming, and I'm sure they could go somewhere else and make more money. So we're fortunate that they choose our town and come and work here, and they've helped develop our parks into a much higher standard than what we've ever had.
Yeah,
So kudos to your staff.
Without a doubt. They definitely love this community. They want to be part of it. They're dedicated, they're hardworking, and they're committed to improving every day in making that happen. So it helps make my job easy when you have folks like that. That can just get right in there. They know their business, they know how to get it done, and they're looking at other ways to give more. Okay. Next is our event center, again, primarily focusing on ice skating. So we did have some improvements there. Really, the big thing to note is that we were able to increase hours, provide additional opportunities, get folks out there on the ice, enjoying themselves. So we jumped right out there. Skate sharpening rose, so that means more folks are buying skates because they know that opportunity is going to be available for them, and they enjoy getting out there to cool down in the hot spot in Prescott Valley during the winters. We also improved our theme skates. We had an increase of 15% over last year, and it also increased participation during those times by 17%. So we look forward to checking that schedule. You'll be able to see more of those goodies out there. Again, Brady's coming to us. He was originally in Central Michigan, or he graduated from Central Michigan. And in his time there, he was able to work with USA Hockey So he understands ice and skating and skates and all of those other kinds of fun things, and growing the team out there as well too. So that good background, that good experience, that knowledge base in doing those things. So with nothing more to add beyond that, other than working in partnership with the Event Center for league activities such as corn toss, also being able to help co-host the Prescott Area Kennel Club. They had about 3,200 entries this year, believe it or not, coming from all four corners and even as far away as Missouri. To participate in the dog show out here is just phenomenal. What that does for your hotels and restaurants and gas stations and all those other kind of cool things, significant economic impact there. We also had the pickleball tournament that we hosted this last year. That was our first inaugural one. Upcoming here pretty soon, we've done this in years past, in hosting the Safe Halloween experience and activity. So just to name a few of those different things, and our partners over there at the Events Center to kind of round things out.
Will those events be returning?
We're anticipating it. We just got done with the second year, or actually the third year of the dog show. That was able to be done completely independent of the town, which is exactly that inspiration that we look for. Remember back in regards to some of our youth hockey tournaments that we had that grew into some other collegiate tournaments. Then also our Gym and Mineral Show, and how that's continued as well too. So we look at all of those things, job fairs, those kinds of activities that take place there. Again, working to grow our community and provide different genres of recreational leisure pursuits, as well as also providing economic benefits and return into our community.
Big impact, and something that is of value to the entire community. So
without a doubt.
More hotel beds.
Yes, sir. Like that.
Yeah.
Like that a lot. All right, in our Parks Maintenance Division, the big highlights, as you know, we brought on a used bucket truck. So we've been putting that in action. Matter of fact, our sister department, Public Works, also has been utilizing that bucket truck to be able to help them out with some of their things. And so it's nice to have two in our fleet, being able to get out there and get those works done, not only in our internal park light system, but throughout the town, as then also with our tree inventory as well, from any of those maintenance items or inspection things that we need to do. As far as park construction and improvements, you saw phase 2 of the urban forest concrete pathway repairs. So that took place. We had budgeted $20,000 and expended $19,900 of those dollars in those repairs. In doing that, we are also able to repair and upgrade the Fain Lake waterfall pump and electrical services out there. We had $8,000 budgeted and expended $7,900 there. Also, we replaced the fence line park playground, if you recall that project. We had basically a backyard unit out there, and we were able to replace that with a nice quality commercial grade unit. Has been very well used out there, so we're very glad that folks are excited to be able to utilize that new improvement. And then also we completed the Bob Edwards Park project, a project that had been on the shelf for about 9 years, came to pass, and I would argue that it is a very highly utilized park, well received by a number of different folks from a variety of different aspects, and we're very excited, unfortunately, that it's been delayed until next spring, but being able to bring that athletic field online next spring at its startup. We've had to do multiple seatings there, but we want to make sure it's a good quality environment that's safe for all users out there. And doing that and utilizing the new light system that's out there because of its efficiencies that'll be made available to us. So it's a very healthful park environment. You got a really nice big ramada, high energy gross motor function playground, a new state-of-the-art. Yeah, I know we're talking about bathrooms, restroom facilities, but I think it'll be interesting to see how that transitions into our inventory in comparison to our other facilities, especially on a long-term stasis there, because of its high level of low maintenance that will need to take place out there. And then in addition to that, our walking path. That has been a tremendous asset with folks coming forward, and it's been part of our wellness program here. You take a loop around Civic Center, go down the road, take a loop around the park, and come back, and you've got quite a few steps in during the day. So all kinds of compliments, and it's fun driving by there, even at 8:30 at night, which you kind of dread sometimes. But you go by at 8:30 at night, when I say dread, because of the other activity that's going on, but it's so well utilized that they're out there enjoying the playground, walking the path. It's well lit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the volume of activity take place out there. Beyond that, we had...
I wanted to make one comment.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard from another person that lives in Granville that goes to Bob Edwards Park
Nice.
because they like it so well.
Very good.
And another from me, the printing of the lettering around the base of the restrooms.
Yes, ma'am.
Will that be taken care of?
Yes, ma'am, and it's going to have to be part of our landscaping efforts. So when that landscaping is finalized, and even elements that still might peek out beyond that landscaping, we'll just have to go in there and do a little touch-up to it. But that is stenciling coming from the manufacturer.
Yes.
So it is not a graffiti element. It's just part of their labeling of their product there
Yes.
in doing that. So
And good advertisement.
very good advertisement, yes. Especially as it's flying through the air now that it's sitting
There
on
you
the
go.
ground. Yes, without a doubt. In addition to that, the department served as a regional host for a playground maintenance workshop in cooperation with the Arizona Parks and Rec Association. The department also received the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce Award for Community Improvement Project for Summit Trail. And then on behalf of the Arizona Tree Council, we hosted the Northern Arizona Tree Care and Tree Planting Workshop for homeowners. In appreciation for our efforts, the Tree Council also awarded us a tree, and it is located adjacent to the Veterans Memorial right here at the Civic Center. So some of those fun things that we have going on. As we mentioned earlier, the Horseshoe Club. So over at American Legion Park, we supported 4 of their tournaments. We had 4 softball tournaments. We had a 100-plus team boys and girls soccer tournament on 2 separate weekends. We supported the Rough Riders men's junior college soccer team with 6 games here. Numerous activities and events throughout our entireties of our park system. We were bestowed our 12th consecutive annual Tree City USA Award for our commitments to providing a forestry budget of no less than $2 per capita. We recertified with the 6th consecutive Tree City USA Growth Award. That is what we were talking about earlier this evening in regards to our 5-year planning efforts. We celebrated Arbor Day this year at George Anderson Park. We had 100 attendees and completed 6 new donated trees, planting and reforesting that park area over there. We also completed a $12,000 forestry tree grant that took place over at American Legion Park. We saw the benefits of that on an earlier slide this evening. Unfortunately, we removed 17 trees this year that are either damaged or diseased, but we also planted 54 new trees this year in replacement as well as new. So doing that, also very happy to report that our park staff worker Fred Stoneburner and his wife Miranda welcomed a new baby girl this year, as well as then also our park supervisor Nick Grabluski and his wife Danette welcomed a new baby boy during fiscal year 16-17 in doing that. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions you have related to our park maintenance division report.
I think it's very important that we all notice that all of these things were done, and we have 7 full-time employees and our part-time seasonals.
Yes, sir.
They're very understaffed in our parks. For everything these kids are doing for us in these parks, it's amazing what they can get done with only 7 full-time people. I don't understand why the town still doesn't get it and give us more help in our parks.
Well, and I know from a long-term sense that is something that we're definitely wanting to do, and that was one of the strategies in this fiscal year was some outsourcing of services. So we're exploring that. We've also looked at in regards to working with our veterans groups as well too, for some of that continuing job vocation development and improvements. So we're definitely looking at filling those voids. And then, as we all know, as our inventory grows and more acreage in regards to our park systems, in regards to doing that on a per capita basis, we'll be needing to grow in that area as well too, with full-time employees beyond the outsourcing of services and seasonal employees too.
With your group under your maintenance workers, Fred, Dan, Jose, and Gilbert, you probably have at least, 60 years between all of them?
Oh, easy.
Easy. Closer to 100?
Yes. And matter of fact, one of the things that, that crew definitely looks at is we're going to be looking at going through that transferal of institutional knowledge as well too.
Sure.
We're doing that because we have some of our park staff that will be spotlighting retirement in a little while. Not that we want to see them go, but by golly, they've earned it.
You bet.
So in doing that, but we're going to be losing some of that institutional knowledge, and we're going to need to make sure it's transferred accurately.
That's the thing.
Yes.
The younger need to be trained.
Definitely.
Succession planning is key in any business or
Yes, sir.
operation. So.
That is
We've
correct.
got to take note that if we're going to be in front of the town council on the 19th, Brett, you've got to speak up and tell them we're working with a skeleton staff, and I do that every single year. They just know I'm mouthing off. We don't get anywhere, but you might as well say it.
We do. We beat a dead horse every year, but
Yeah.
we need to keep hearing it every year.
To keep hearing it. Look at what we're presenting on behalf of Director Whitty. This is fabulous.
You bet.
Absolutely.
You bet.
Well, but, we have increased staff in some areas. Now, for the maintenance and the workers that are out maintaining the field, I think you're correct. We probably need more personnel to do that. Prescott Valley has a reputation and has maintained the highest quality in their fields. We see other organizations wanting to come here and use our fields. So how they do that is pretty amazing, and kudos to them. But I think we should maybe sometime in the future, as we have looked at briefly in the past, maybe look at where our staffing is compared to national standards, and that's probably also part of your 5-year plan. I don't know if that's in there, but maybe look at that again and see if we can't come up with some more recommendations.
Very true.
And so many businesses and corporations nowadays are just contracting everything out instead of being able to hire people and give them jobs and such. We just seem to contract everything out.
Right, and we definitely need to understand that balance as well too.
Sure.
I mean, that's part of the benefit that we do have with some of that outsourcing. So like our Quailwood, our Pronghorn, and our Stone Ridge parks, those are outsourced locations. So we do have the benefit there. But we also have the management responsibilities that go into that. And sometimes those come with their own little challenges as well. So weighing and balancing, trying to make sure that all things could be accomplished with the dollars that we have and in the ways in which they get done is always, I don't want to call it a juggling act, but it's essential time management. And having it out there and making sure that all that quality of standard is across the board. So whether you're an outsourced vendor, whether you're in-house as a full-time employee, or you're a seasonal employee, the standards need to be maintained across the board in measuring that. And that's our goal with that we have with our park supervisor and our parks and rec manager of being able to accomplish that.
I've witnessed that our staff in town take a little more pride and effort into our parks than the outsource. The outsource maybe seems to do a quick sweep through and enough to get by.
Sure.
And our guys go through and they take the extra steps to say, oh, I noticed.
And those
this.
are some of your pros and cons. But again, that goes back to that management. We have to manage it to the standard. And that's what we have to work to do. As well as then also on the other side of the fence with seasonal employee.
Yep.
So you've got to work those things out. And I've got good and I've got bad on both sides of the fence. I've got some outstanding seasonal employees and then some seasonal employees that need a little extra help. And I've got some outsourced folks that are just top-notch, and you can rely and depend upon them morning, noon, and night. And then you've got some folks that you got to kind of poke and prod along doing some of those things. And that's internal as well. Sure. And so that's part of that. But it's that dedicated management process, and that's where Nick and Jason meet those challenges on a daily basis.
And I'm sure it's hard for them to keep up.
Sure. And they have their responsibilities, too.
Got their own, you bet.
Well, I think you look at American Legion Park, how it was a couple of years ago and how it is today. More man-hours are used to keep it up now that you've got so many more plantings, better lawn.
Yeah,
You can't just go in and just mow down some weeds.
I would argue against it. I would think our man hours are down because of the management and the development that we've done out there. It's easier for us to go out there and mow a lawn that is healthy and complete as opposed to trying to manage the weeds. It looks unsightly. That customer response factor, what's the old football adage? It matriculates down the field. Well, that customer experience matriculates through the system in regards to that. The morale that's improved, that user interface, the groups that now look at that and take pride in it being their home. So I really look at that from a holistic standpoint.
All right.
And because it is mowed, it's easier to get in there. You can mow it, and trimming it, you just have to hit the perimeters in some of those little special areas. But other than that, it's lickety-split. We're in and out. Compared to having to go through that and worried that, and all of that weedy underbrush, that there's going to be this and that stuck in it, and throw it out with the mower, and you're putting more chemical down than you need to, and all of these other kinds of things to continually manage it. And it's an eyesore. Now it's a very desirable location to be. So that's the vantage point I'm taking with that.
All right. Good.
And it's kind of funny when the morale raises so much because the guys get a new mower.
Yes.
Or something as simple as that we think of, and these guys are like, wow, we got a new mower. I can't wait to get out there and use. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
And that resonates all the way to me because
sure.
I got to use it 3 times over the period of Labor Day weekend and the healing fields and everything else, and I had a blast. So it was kind of like, well, where's the combine at now? I'm ready to go.
yeah, ready to plant some corn now.
Yeah, exactly. Little flashback. All right. Well, if no more questions on parks, we'll jump into athletics. Basically, again, new coordinator. Bob again supported Brianna with her transition into the division, getting her up and moving along. She's still in that learning curve as we speak, but a fantastic job between the two of them in regards to offering all of those adult athletic services out there. Other members of her team chiming in with their support in regards to athletic field allocations and that program going on. But a very good, successful year, either status quo or growth, whether it be in teams or in attendance and spectatorship, all of those kinds of things that were going on out there. But just a big kudos to them, and especially, again, Miss Brianna coming on board with her. She's got a number of years of experience in sports and rec. She's got 2 degrees, one in sports nutrition and personal training, another one in sports management and health and wellness. Believe it or not, she's also a member of the Exercise Science and Nutrition Advisory Council for Glendale Community College. So a very knowledgeable young lady in doing that. And she's getting on board and becoming very involved in regards to marketing services, and then also joining in with our advisory group through the Arizona Parks and Rec Association, so expanding her network and services there. So we're very much looking forward to her improvements and her fingerprint on our programs and services, and growing that internal staff through independent contractors and site supervisors, improvement in those programs and services. And I've already warned her about you and volleyball, Buzz, so she is well prepared.
Right.
Okay? She's ready to crack the whip.
First thing I pick out when I get there, the new staff.
All right. So are there any questions with athletics? If not, we'll move on to special events. Again, we secured the bid in special events for the upcoming national tournament. So that was a very exciting thing. We successfully co-hosted the Horseshoe Championships there at American Legion Park. As we mentioned earlier before, special events and assisting with the Prescott Kennel Club and their dog show there. In addition to that, we saw wonderful new display for our fireworks program on 4th of July. Our team came together. We found a new facility and to host Daddy-Daughter Date Night. We were able to double the attendance for that event. We've always had a waiting list. We were able to accommodate that. We still ended up with a waiting list, but we've grown it as big as we can possibly get it. But some very nice improvements in regards to that program. And then we help and host a variety and support a number of other activities that come on to town properties in doing that. So we had the Honor and Remember Memorial Flag Program, Wolfstock, tons of company and church picnics, weddings and anniversary celebrations, the off-road race, the Honor and Remember 5K event. You had hopeful presidential candidate Donald Trump and his rally came into town. We had support of that. Relay for Life, the Valley of Lights event that we partner with the Prescott Valley Chamber office, the Boys and Girls Club with their Wild West Mudfest, Take Back the Night, Prevent Child Abuse events and activities. So a number of different activities and services in support of what others do, utilizing town property and giving back to the community as services and special events and activities that they have, in addition to the 23, give or take, special events that the town produces and provides as well. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions you have. All right, hearing none. Beyond that, your additional documents in the back are a summary of what is part of our annual budget reporting done by our management services team in regards to revenues and expenses for the department. That's a 5-year window, so you'll be able to look at that by expense by division, expenses by category, and then on a per capita, as you were mentioning earlier, Commissioner Brinkman, that showing that trending in regards to expenditures by the department on a per capita basis this year, based upon every person living here in town. Each use of tax dollars amounted to $52 per person was that investment. Beyond that, you also see investments. These are sponsorships, if you will, of our youth organizations and other cooperative organizations that we work with. And when I speak of cooperative, I'm talking about intergovernmental agreements. So whether that be with schools or state agencies or county agencies, these would be those contributions that the town would be making. So you're seeing in dollars, Ramada reservations, athletic field reservations, athletic field lights, civic center room use, auditorium and crystal room use. And those investments equate to $315,000. Okay. Much beyond that, then the following pages, you're going to see program participation reports, as well as then also rental reports. Beyond that, that really concludes the department's annual report. Again, for your continued review, any questions, improvements, some of those noted this evening in regards to identifying the images that are in the report so folks understand the connectivity and importance that are there. But what we would like to remind everyone that Prescott Valley is a place for you to live, work, and play. Whether you choose to live healthy, live happy, live with adventure, or live in peace, the desire to live well is inherent among those who choose to live, work, and play in the town of Prescott Valley. Thank you for choosing Parks and Recreation, and thank you all for your commitment, volunteerism, and service to the community.
One question, Brian. When we see a decline in athletics is it because of our facility? Do we lose facility usage sometimes? Is that I'm looking at page 25.
Okay.
Last year, 15-16 athletics was 72,000, and 16-17 is 34,000. Are we losing things due to maybe lack of space for athletics, such as maybe, let's use volleyball as an example. We had possibly maybe 3 nights in the gyms, and now we're maybe losing down to 2 or different facilities. Are we losing? What I'm pushing for is to try and get us a rec center. That's what I'm after here.
I mean, always that's going to be better. I mean, to put it out there bluntly. Now, the item that you're looking at, you said on page 25?
Yeah, on the back.
Okay.
Where it says athletics on the top chart.
Okay, on that expense by division section. That one year, we had a little anomaly in there, and that was an expenditure item. So other than that, we've been kind of trending in this. Actually, we've been trending up in doing that. So I think that really is more of a reflection on folks becoming more involved and us making improvements in our infrastructure and our supplies and services. So that could be improvements with bases. It could be improvements in regards to the quality of equipment or just more equipment because it's necessary in doing those types of things. Also bringing on more officials in regards to offsetting that kind of a thing. Or in years past where we've only had one, we've been out like on tournaments and different divisions having that additional umpire because of those levels of play in doing that. Not on the volleyball side.
Right.
Yeah.
But even on page 27, the volleyball season, I see we had last year, 2,700. We dropped to 24. I know that this year we weren't able to do a fall season volleyball due to lack of availability.
Yeah, we had availability of venue there, so that was impactful for us. Yes, on trending and volleyball on season 1, we've actually been trending. We went up. We started at 27 5 years ago. We stayed consistent. Then we jumped up to 34, and for the last 2 years, we've been consistent with 33 teams, which is almost max.
Right.
For that. Then in season 2, we've been pretty doggone consistent, but season 2 is always running into complications with the softball season, so you always see that change, that down, if you will, but we've been constant in doing those things. Our attendance did go down. Our spectator and participation attendance went down a little bit in season 1, but conversely, it went up in season 2, so it was almost a status quo overall. In doing those things. We try to monitor both because they're equally important, but in the big picture, it was almost a status quo situation. Now, I would argue with you that gymnasium space, especially for volleyball and as well as our basketball leagues, is challenging, and that's just because the facilities are needed.
Right.
The town does not have its own gymnasium. So we're utilizing our intergovernmental agreements with our public as well as our charter school systems to try to offset that the best we possibly can. And would in addition be helpful? Very, very much so.
If we had our own rec center, we could really improve capabilities of more.
Sure. And as our community grows, I don't think it's something to not pay attention to.
Exactly.
I think it definitely has to be.
I think it is something that's needed
in
our future.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, I think it was a well put together report.
All right. Well, with that being said, I will catch my breath and be quiet for a little bit.
Okay.
Other than that, Thursday night, October 19th, is your opportunity again in presentation to the town council of this document that's been prepared for you.
5:30 here.
Yes, sir. 5:30 here at the auditorium.
Okay. Any other questions regarding the annual report? Move on to item B in new business. Work study meetings.
You want to take that one, or you want me to?
Sure. So at our last meeting, we discussed a few dates in October to try and get it knocked out before the holidays hit and everything. Personally, looking at the calendar for me, nothing in October on a Saturday works. If it works for everybody else, that's fine. I don't need to be in attendance.
Doesn't work for me.
Oh, I think we would like to have the chairperson in attendance.
Okay.
Sometime
So
after November 11th would be preferred for myself.
November 11th. Yep.
This is the park tour.
Yes.
Yes. Now, if there was interest, Commissioner Freyer has indicated that a time after 3 or 3:30 on a Friday afternoon might possibly fit into his schedule. I don't know how that works for you, Commissioner Polican. I know, what's that?
My schedule is so erratic, yeah.
And I understand that. So that could be another possibility if
Toss out a couple of dates and see if they
we
work.
could look at any of those Fridays prior to. Again, I'd have to defer to Commissioner Freyer in regards to
Yeah.
what his schedule would permit.
Fridays probably would work for me.
And I would think maybe a 3 or 3:30 start time, and we could get wrapped up around 6. And, we're fighting daylight the later in October we go.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't work, happy to look at some November dates.
So just looking at my crazy calendar, and not trying to make it all about me.
Well, I know Brett has the same problem on Saturdays with soccer through November, so, yeah.
So the 13th, which is this Friday, is
I can't.
short notice.
I can't.
Can't make that.
27th would be my earliest Friday.
And I'm out of town the 27th.
Let's see, yeah, I'm at Liberty School.
The 10th of November.
And I believe that is
Veterans
the
Day.
observed Veterans Day. Yes.
The town is
Yeah.
closed that day.
I can still make myself available if you would like to do that.
And if that's not available, then the 17th of November.
And that Friday, the 10th, would be good at any point in time. I'm assuming you're off,
Should be. I
so
believe that's
I'm
a paid
free as
holiday.
well.
I'll be off that day as well.
Okay.
Whenever.
So do you want to aim for that?
Okay.
Okay. We can do a park tour that day.
Park tour on.
Because the rest of the town sleeping doesn't mean I am.
That's right.
That van can just get
We can
fired
go
up
early
real
as long as
quick.
you're bringing
Bring
donuts.
the mower, we can go for a ride.
Go for a ride on the mower? Yeah, we could probably work that
It's
out.
November 10th.
So,
Yeah.
What time would we like to get together? You want to knock
I
it
could
out
do as
early?
early as 9 a.m.
9?
that day, yeah.
Okay.
9 a.m. Friday.
As early as, yeah.
10th,
Friday the 10th of November.
9 a.m.
Okay.
Where are we meeting?
We'll meet right here at Civic Center in the parking lot adjacent to the passenger van. So that will be in the west parking lot of the Civic Center.
Could I bring a co-pilot that day?
Sure you can.
Sure. Donuts are provided.
Yeah, compliments of Commissioner Gummer. Yes.
Donuts will be provided.
I'll bring the coffee or the milk, whatever you prefer.
All right.
So, all right. So our park tour will be scheduled, like we mentioned, Friday, November 10th, 9 a.m. Meeting at the Civic Center parking lot. Additionally, possibly look at discussing during the park tour or setting separate dates later in the year of the event and annual budget planning.
Yes. So we have 2 dates on that. I would suggest Tuesday evenings for those. That would be the 7th of November or the 14th of November. Now, the 14th is your regular meeting date, and I would suggest having that meeting at 5 p.m. that particular day, if the 14th would be selected, or even if necessary.
If necessary, I think that personally, one meeting is better than 2.
Okay.
So if we could work for everybody on the 14th to
And meet at 5:30?
5:30, either way.
here in the auditorium. Or?
Yes, sir. Okay, so we'll focus on Tuesday, the 14th of November at 5:30.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? Any other new business or unscheduled public appearances from our audience?
They're asleep, compliments of my report earlier.
They weren't paying attention then. Seeing none, our next meeting, well, our park tour, as we just discussed, will be Friday, November 10th at 9 a.m. The regular commission meeting is Tuesday, November 14th, 6:30 p.m. Work study meeting before that at 5 p.m. With that, that's all that's on the agenda. I'll take a motion to adjourn if anybody is so interested.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, Prescott Valley. We'll see you next month.